All right, welcome back to our March 7th Thursday night Q&A. I am Todd Collins, leader of the Todd Father team. My co-host tonight, Bob Reid, one of the original members with 7K medals and top income earner year after year after year with 7K medals. He is definitely the guru of network marketing, knows more about both that business and silver and gold in and of itself than probably all of us here do combined. Tonight we're going to do a Q&A. I'm going to start this out though with a quick call out to Derek French. He told me as we were warming up the call tonight before we got going that he had a couple of new members that he wanted to introduce. And one of them, I believe, has a fairly substantial success story that was talked about on his live stream or his Zoom meeting, I should say, earlier in the week. And I'd like that person to have an opportunity to come off mute. Go ahead and take yourself off mute when Derek calls on you and give that success story, and then we'll start the Q&A right behind that. Go ahead, Derek.
The two people I want to recognize is Robert McDonald. He's about 3 weeks into the business. He has obtained the rank of associate, and he has booked his convention tickets and has already booked his flight and his hotel. And Robert, my hats off to you. Plus, he is two away from copper now, so uh, he's fixing to go copper. Fixing is a word in Arkansas, by the way. And then uh, Charles Smitty, and Charles surprised me, not surprised me because he's been working on his story, but Charles Smitty also followed the Bob Reid duplicatable system. He grabbed a family pack. He is also an associate. After he's been in about 3 weeks as well, he is an associate, and he has also booked his everything for his convention. So th that I guess it took me 2 years, Bob, to learn how to get people started right. And so, like you said, 2 years to learn, three and 3 to 5 to build. And Charles, I'd like you to come off mute and briefly tell your story, why you got involved and what you found since you've been here. And thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Derek. Um, Love everybody and listen to everybody. I working for a metal recycling company that shipped all over the world products, metal products, not precious metal, not silver or gold, I wish, but just regular, normal type metal. In 2023, after serving as general manager, uh, the company was sold out to a bigger company. And of course, along the way, I lost my job. Kind of felt hopeless. And my wife, after working 7 days a week, sometimes 12, 16, 14 hours a day, my wife said, "Well, why don't you do a business for yourself?" So I looked around, and nothing really caught my eye. And she said, "Well, I heard something about investing. We need to do some investing. I heard about a company called 7K. Why don't you shoot them an email and let's find out a little about it?" So I shot an email to the corporate office and wasn't really expecting a whole lot, but I was blessed because I soon had a phone call from Derek, and within a matter of hours. And unfortunately, during this time with Derek, we had a tragic event. I lost my youngest son, and we had to kind of put things on hold. And Derek and the team, Mary, just loved on us to help us begin to heal and wound. Um, but after I talked to Derek, Derek explained to me the program, that I know it had to be a blessing from God, the way he explained it to me and shared with me. And he said, there's opportunities here to either just buy silver and gold, or the next level you can uh, move up to where you're got a little bit more benefits. He explained all the benefits, and then he told me about the legacy. and how the opportunity there is to begin to accumulate silver and gold.
I could go on here and put.
Yeah, and so it was amazing to me. We signed up the very day that we talked to Derek. My wife was pushing me to said, "Do it, do it, do it," and I'm like, "Okay, dear, I'm listening." So that began the quest for something more. And this is the first time in my life that I have been paid by accumulating gold and silver to learn. And man, have I learned so much from Bob, from Derek, from the rest of the team, Mike. I mean, the names can go on, to where now I have tangible material in my hand. I have gold and silver. I have never been able to save money like I have with 7K, to where I actually received in the mail some gold coins. I have 5 of them now, and plus the silver. So 7K does work. It does work if you take the time and be diligent to go through the training, to let your team members help you, like Derek has helped me. There's nothing but success in front of you. And the thing is, you're paying yourself to work. I've never done that before. I've never been able to do that before. So now I have something tangible, gold and silver, to leave to my sons and to my grandchildren. What a joy it is to show them the silver and gold coins and the collectibles. I almost forgot about the collectibles. I've got some really cool collectibles, and it's all because of the ease of 7K, of being able to put some of your savings into tangible assets, gold and silver. And I can't wait to get to Vegas to learn even more. I got to personally talk to Bob Reid when Derek was signing me up stuff in a three-way call. And guys, I'm pumped up. Some days I'm pumped up, and some days I'm a little low. It's just an emotional roller coaster of a heart healing. But I know God's in this. It's one of the biggest blessings that's ever come upon my life to be a part of 7K.
Wow. That Charles, that was. Whew, I love those stories. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm like, I don't get speechless very often, but that one floored me. Thank you very much for your story. I'm sorry for your loss. As one of the people in Derek's upline and between him and Bob, if there's anything I can do to assist you, offer input, advice, whatever, hop on calls, you please reach out to me, sir. I am honored that you are on this team, and thank you for that testimony. All right. Whew. If anybody has a question now, please put your hand up, use that reactions tab on the bottom, and I'll call on you one at a time. Gary Capps, you're up first.
Yeah, my question is this. How effective is a relaunch later in your business?
Very effective. You can have multiple lunches of your own business anytime.
Amy McKay has done at least 2 of those that I'm aware of. The first one was a very heavy success. The second one, I believe, also is either scheduled or just happened. I can't recall. But if Amy, if you want to come off mute and talk about that to give Gary a good answer to that question for the rest of the people who are here, you're welcome to do so. No pressure though, if you don't want to.
Thank you, Todd
Yeah,
and Bob.
yeah, I've done 2. And the second one was, I didn't word it as a relaunch, but just a continuation. You didn't make it to my first party. I'm so sorry you didn't make it. I'm having another one. Just come and see what I'm doing, and I'm thinking to do it quarterly, because getting together with people um is my way. Somehow that's my way. As
Yep.
shy as I can be, as reserved as I am, I like to have people over, just tell them about it. So it works. I get people that say they're going to sign up, they're waiting for this or waiting for that. So just got to
You
keep
could do
talking
it
to
as
them.
like a quarterly status or uh, or an annual status. But I'm going to share with you though, the most effective way is everyone that made it on your launch that did not join is that you personally go back to know what's been happening, what your story is, how much, kind of share with them what gold and silver assets you have now, all because you did this. Would they like to take a second look? Would they like some more information? That's that's part of that follow-up process. That's part of that pipeline that you're always working on, and that's just another tool in doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amy did it right too. In her first launch party, it was several months ago. She had appetizers and drinks and music in the background, and she decorated her house up a little bit. And I'm going to tell you, sitting where I was during that call, not in the same house that Amy McKay was, I had a little fear of missing out. I wanted to be there. And she had a lot of people that came to her home, a few that were able to watch. We record these too, whether Derek does them or Mike does them or I do them or whoever your leader is, we record them. And another great benefit of that is that if, Bob Smith, your brother-in-law, wanted to come but couldn't because he had a kid in basketball that night or whatever, you can always send the recording of that to Bob and say, I'm sorry you missed out last night. It was a great event. Here's the recording of that. It's an ongoing marketing piece that you can actually use for yourself. And then if Amy does that quarterly again, she's got that follow-up ability. She's creating her own community. And, I've said this before and I want to say it again. One of the things that I hear day in and day out, I mean, a lot of you don't know who I am or what I do with my personal life and the live streams that I do where I promote a whole different thing, not 7K medals, but I do Bible studies. And I get people together every morning, Monday through Friday, and talk about stuff. The community that develops with those people. They may not jump all in the first time they come around, but they want to be included and they feel that energy and the enthusiasm that someone like Amy McKay has. And Derek French, I've seen a lot of launch parties, but that guy's got it dialed. And he actually taught me how to do them. And I launched several people's launch parties as well along the way. And if you guys haven't had an opportunity to watch one of those, send Derek a
Hopefully,
private message.
Todd, you can places where your internet's blanking you out.
Uh-oh.
We're only catching parts of your sentences.
Yeah, we had a horrible storm here yesterday, and our internet's been unstable. So, Bob, go ahead.
I'll tell you what, Todd. Why don't I just take the Q&A from here because you just bits and pieces can we hear. Anyone else have any questions about anything? I also wanted to take this opportunity. Mike Mandato, I'm gonna put you on the line, bro. You got a good story, and hopefully you practiced it because I want you to tell your story. Do it
Yeah.
like now.
So what I've done, Bob, is I keep developing different stories, which is kind of cool depending on who you're talking to. But I think everybody on this call heard my story. 2 years ago, I was looking for gold and silver. I knew I had to get some, to kind of diversify a little bit, and we called a couple of the other places and didn't quite like the message that I heard. I heard about 7K. I looked into it a little bit and enrolled in 7K. And quite frankly, 7K has been a blessing to me. I met an unbelievable amount of friends. I joke all the time that I've been in high tech for 47 years and I can't count on my hand the number of lifelong friends I'll have. However, in 7K, I've got a group of people that are going to be with me till the good Lord asks for me. Let's put it that way. But 7K opened my eyes to a lot of things. The first thing it opened up to was the collectibles. I never collected anything in life. I had 5 kids. I tell people I collected kids all the time. And I never had a savings account. And when I got my first coin, I was totally blown away. And I started to dig in a little bit more to coin collecting and look at some things and get some advice from a couple of people. And about 6 months into it, I turned to my wife and I said, "Hey, when was the last time we had $10,000 in a savings account?" And she politely said, "Never." And I said, "Well, we've got that much." And that was after the first 6 months. So we've been doing all right. I have a lot of friends who have helped me get to a silver associate. And at a silver associate, you get the capability of earning a substantial income, which was real important. And one of the reasons I started, because I was going on Social Security and couldn't live on Social Security. So I needed something to augment that Social Security. So that's kind of why I'm here. I love 7K. I've amassed an unbelievable amount of silver at this point in time, diversified completely, and made a group of friends that you can't get anywhere else.
Powerful story, Nick. It really is. And that's a great story. Amy McKay, you and I've corresponded a little bit. And so I think your story is a powerful story. Why don't you tell everyone your story?
Okay, let me find it.
You got to find it,
I
huh?
got it.
Okay.
I want to do it right. All right, so my name is Amy McKay. I'm a teacher with my master's degree in education, and I've been teaching since 1990. But in 2008, when my kids were young, I found myself raising them alone and working 5 jobs to do it. To cover my bills 1 month, I had to take out 2 gold coins from my safe, and I went to meet a coin dealer in a church parking lot. I handed him my gold. He handed me my money, which is what I needed, but he drove away with my gold. And I swore to myself I would get them back someday. So when a friend showed me 7K, I knew I was in. It just made sense to me. I have finally found a way to build a stable second income while trading in failing dollars for gold and silver. And it fits my budget. I'm ecstatic that it's on a safe platform like Sound Money Wallet, not with a stranger in a parking lot. And since joining 7K just a little over 2.5 years ago, my savings have tripled and I've accumulated real wealth in gold and silver. Equally as important, I'm now amassing feelings of security and stability that I didn't have years ago in that parking lot or in my life. So I have a great 7K support team and leaders like Don Swank, Derek French, Mike Mandato, Todd Collins, Bob Reid to work and learn with. And you can do it too if you join us and let us teach you how.
Hey, it's a great story. Now, here's what I'm doing. We talked about launching your business. There is nothing better than you can have at the end of your launch to kind of finish it off. Have 2 or 3 powerful stories like this. That's part of that launch, and and that's why so story and learning your story is so important. And again, I'm going to encourage everyone to do your story every day, multiple times until you no longer have to read it, until you can, if I'm calling on you, it just rolls right off your tongue into the hearts and minds and eyes of the other people that you're talking to. It's genuine then. It's real, even though your stories are genuine, but a person needs to know it's coming from your heart and your mind. And when they feel that, that's when the other people can say, wow, I can relate to that. Gee, I can do it. It's your best objection handler that exists is people's stories. They sell. They sell. Anybody else want to just kind of pop their story that you've been working on, you've been putting it together? Somebody wants to do it? Raise your hand.
Mike's got a comment.
Yeah, I have a quick comment, Bob. After we went through the storytelling episode or training, and Derek and I did that opportunity meeting every Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever we get a chance to do it. We've actually incorporated that into our presentation now. So we'll do our 4-minute video, and then we'll show a couple of things, and then we'll go right into a couple of testimonials. And we've been calling on the team, and the team has been unbelievable in getting on, telling stories. not, she had some problems with the kids, but she told an unbelievable story the other day that kind of blew everybody away. So everybody's getting it. And thank you, Bob, for kind of leading the way and showing us which way we needed to go.
Well, that's what we're here for. And we're gonna have some trainings where we're just putting together these stories and we're going to be sending. But everybody get your story down pat, because I want you to be on this newest updated company video of stories, which they're going to do in Vegas. And if you're not in Vegas, you don't even have a chance to win that those $20,000 coins, and you don't have a chance to tell your story in front of the corporate video and be on that video tape with your story being told and you being able to play that video, and you're there telling parts of your story and they've captured it. Hey, you know, Todd, and we don't have any other questions. We're gonna let everybody have a good night, get to work on their list, work on their story. See, our job never ends here because it's not work, it's fun. See, if it's work, you hadn't got there yet. It's got to be fun. Then it's not work. Love
100%
all.
agree. 100%
Thank
agree.
y'all for letting me do this with y'all. You're a great team to host this and do this, because it's going to be available to all my teams. And hopefully we just take these things, put them together, and that becomes part of the networking, how to succeed in networking success Bible. 7 trainings with the Q&A sessions. I don't know if we need anything more than, everything else is just doing it, just learning, watching these videos over and over and over again. It's kind of like I always say, it's in the military. I learned what is called program learning. They tell you what they're going to say. They tell you, then they tell you what they told you, and then they tell you again what they told you. Then they tell you how they're going to test you, and they tell you again how they're going to test you with the answers. And then they give you a test. And if you can't pass that test at that time, oh man. Yeah, it's the same thing. Sometimes you got to watch a video 7 times before you catch everything that was being shared with you for you to learn. There's a magic in 7. It's not magic, it's the perfect number of completion. It's God's number. That's why I have 7 parts to network marketing. I have 7 in a
7K
lot of
medals.
my, yes, 7K medals. A lot of sevens. Thank you, Todd. Thank you and your team. Thank everybody for taking your time here tonight. And I know it's precious, for being here. And I hope it was valuable to you, and what you can impart to yourself and your team and your future team leaders. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank
one
you,
last
Bob.
one last thought
Sure.
as we wrap up here, Bob. I don't know how stable my internet is. We've had a big storm yesterday and it's been sort of bouncy, but I would tell anybody that's watching this call right now that that has that thought in their head, I can't do this. I don't have the ability to be successful. Watch Bob Reid's video from week 1 and commit to watching that 40-minute presentation every day for a week. Watch it, rewatch it, take some notes, and then go to week 2. Watch it and rewatch it every day. Just spend 40 minutes. If you spend an hour a day trying to perfect what Bob's teaching for your business, after 7 weeks of watching the same thing an hour a day for 7 days a week, you will have the principles down. Every time I rewatch one of Bob's videos, I have another aha moment. I have another thing. Well, he said that, and I love that. And now I'm going to adopt that into my speak. Those things become second nature after duplication and triplication and whatever the next numbers are after that. Don't just do one and done and think you got it. Just like reading the Bible. I've read the Bible many, many times. Every time I read another scripture from Philippians, which I've read all of Philippians more than once, every time I read it again, there's another new nugget, another new little epiphany that I have about my walk with God. And you need to do the same thing with your business that you're doing in your spiritual life if you're doing that too. Anyway, thank you all for coming tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Aloha, Tarita. I see you waving at me. I'll be in Hawaii in 2 weeks. But God bless you guys all. We'll see you again next Thursday.
See you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye,
you, Mr.
everybody.
Bob.
Have a
Sir
beautiful
Charles,
week.
great job tonight, sir.
Aloha. See you.
Thank
See you here in
Bob.
2 weeks, Todd.
Thank you all. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Thank you for
a good meeting.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Todd.
You're welcome. Thank you, Derek.
You bet.
Thank you, Todd. I mean, your internet got real stable here at the end. It didn't
Yes.
have a hiccup. That's
Good.
cool.
It's bounced all over the place since my first meeting this morning, so I appreciate the patience.
Oh,
Well,
that's
good
okay.
night, guys.
Good night, sir.
Hey, good night.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night, all. Hey, good night, y'all. I'm
Good
gonna
night,
head.
Bob. That's a wrap.
Go ahead.
See you guys
Hey,
next week.
have-